Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Thursday, July 17th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown. So if you're someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. First off, a couple of clarifications. Number one, the candlestick that you see right there will be moving around and changing. That is because the market's still open for a small amount of time. But I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. Second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here represents 30 minutes worth of time. So ticker symbol number one, we are looking at OPEN. Big mover today. Once again, talked about this in yesterday's video when we mapped out that bull pennant right there. And you can see a lot of progress has been made since then. So certainly some updates need to be made. So we'll just go ahead and delete those lines out as they still do pertain to the chart. They're just not really relevant for the time being. So first level to not watch now moving forward, I would say this is what I would call the ideal level. When you say, Clay, what would make let me change that to green for support, but what would make this chart look the absolute strongest, healthiest moving forward? And that would be if the price can stay above that trend line right there. Now, let me be very clear. If the price comes down there and breaks through the trend line, does that mean the entire chart's epically destroyed or anything like that? Absolutely not. Taking a step back, though, and looking at things from the bigger picture point of view, from the support side, that is where the purple line there comes into play, the 50-period simple moving average. Keyword there being moving. So as time goes by, that line is going to move itself higher and higher. So basically, it's a trend line that's going to draw itself for you. In fact, I like to call moving averages trend lines for lazy people. If you don't feel like drawing a trend line, then let the moving average draw the trend line for you. So in other words, from the overarching standpoint, as long as the price does stay above that purple line, then the bulls are in overall health as far as the trend is concerned. In terms of areas of resistance, no need to overcomplicate it. Just ask the question, where did the party finally stop today? And that was right up there at the $1.47 mark. So again, no fancy logic other than just asking where the party stopped. And you can see right there at $1.47. But all in all, very, very solid day. Next one here, APM. And I don't want to say the chart's ruined or super ugly, but it is starting to look a little sketchy. So let me first just map out the key area of resistance. And I think this is an area that a lot of people have drawn. So just from more of the overarching standpoint, watch that trend line right there. I think, again, that is going to be the key level of resistance. But as of right now, as I speak, and you can see it right here, final portion of the day, a whole lot of selling pressure showed up. But the reason why I'm not saying it's totally, the chart's toast or anything like that is the price does still have the opportunity to stay above the key moving average, which I just talked about on the previous chart, which you now know that purple line, the 50-period moving average. And even if you have a basic understanding of charts, I'm sure you've heard of that 50-period moving average, and you know when the price is above it. Again, no guarantees, but the price can tend to respect that as a support. So in no way, shape, or form am I saying this is what's going to occur, but would it be shocking if the price came down here, that purple line, and then got some sort of bounce off it? Not a guarantee, but certainly not a irrational question to throw out there at all. So yes, pretty nasty pullback right now. Again, I'm not saying that everything's destroyed, although there is perspective. If you're some sort of day trader, flipper, scalper, or whatever you want to call yourself, and you bought right there, or you bought right there, and your plan was to buy and sell within 7 minutes, yes, from that standpoint, the chart is a train wreck. But if you care about the bigger picture, still got a chance to stay above that purple line. And just from a trading standpoint, does the price go down there and get some sort of bounce? It's certainly an interesting set of circumstances for Thursday. Next one here, RGTI. Very, very impressive move on this one. And let's just start with the area of resistance because I think that's pretty straightforward. Again, just basic question, where did the party stop today? And you can see, for whatever reason, this $16.73 mark has been very, very annoying. Let's see, basically once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. So 4 times, price has gotten up there, can't push through it. Now, that doesn't mean that the price can never push through it. I'm just saying that as of right now, it's become very clear that for whatever reason, the sellers are definitely deciding to hang up right around that area. So watch that as the key resistance level. In terms of areas of support, the ideal level of support, that level being, what would make this chart look the healthiest moving forward, and that would be if the price can stay above 1580. But as I talked about on the first one, as far as just the overarching level to keep an eye on, that purple line there, 50-period moving average. So as that line moves higher and higher, and eventually, kind of becomes a trend line, then as long as the price stays above that moving average, then as far as the overall big picture is concerned, the bulls are still in full health. But anyway, look at it. Very impressive day today here for RGTI. Next one here, BBAI. Been tracking this one very closely, and not a whole lot of new things to report other than just confirmation that, and this will mean a little bit more if you watch the video from yesterday, but I talked about that red line there at 720 as a key area of resistance, and you can see that today. There was a fake breakout right there, but after that, that level went basically right back to acting as resistance, although as I speak right now, you can see the price is actually slightly up above that level, which brings about always an interesting and exciting question. And that question is this the start of something bigger? Is there more life to come? Now think about that question. It makes no sense to ask it if nothing worthwhile is even happening. Because if I were to say, is this the start of something bigger? Is what the start? Nothing's even going on. But in this situation, something is going on. The price is trying to get up above that red line. So it does make perfect sense. Now starts a question, is this action the start of something even bigger? Now, to be fair, maybe it's not. Maybe this thing just rolls right back over. But again, to be fair, that's a two-sided coin because, well, I mean, maybe it is the start of something bigger and this thing's getting ready to rock and roll. So yeah, 720, the price is threatening it. Is it the start of an even bigger move? Grab your popcorn for Thursday. Next one, SBET, and this one has been a very, very impressive mover. It already had a huge move, kind of fell off the grid, but now has been coming back. I was going to say slowly coming back to life, but there's really nothing slow about this one. But it's creeping back upwards, higher and higher, and today was probably the biggest volume it's had in a while, so a lot of more people watching it. So let's get some key dynamics mapped out. And I'm going to go through this quicker because you've already heard me talk about this with some of these other charts. But as far as resistance levels, don't need to overcomplicate these that are in the uptrends. Just ask, where's the current area where the party stopped? And that was right up there at basically the $39 mark in terms of that ideal level of support. What would make this look the healthiest moving forward? In my opinion, definitely if the price can stay up there above 32, 35. And then just from the overarching standpoint, so assuming you care about the big picture point of view, then yeah, just watch that purple line. And as that line moves higher and higher, as long as the price stays above it, that implies the lows are getting higher and higher. And we have a perfect example of that right here. Check it out how, yeah, there's been pullbacks. Yeah, there's been pullbacks. But all these pullbacks have stayed above that purple line, and the trend just continues to look very, very nice in the upwards direction. Really quickly, I want to address a potential problem that you're facing as a trader, and that is the pattern day trading rule where you'd like to have unlimited day trades, but you just can't because you don't have the $25,000. Well, if you would like to become a day trader, have unlimited day trades, then check out the link here that you see on the screen. It's also been up above the video the entire time where you can get 50,000 buying power for $102. So if you go to the link that's on the screen here and you use code CLAY, you will be able to become a day trader, be able to trade a market that's open 23 hours a day, 6 days a week. But again, most importantly, there is no pattern day trading rule. So you could get started, become a day trader for $102 if you have that amount. And if you are interested in seeing this all happen live, this is what I'm doing on my live stream. I do live stream every day at 11 a.m. Eastern. So if you want to see this exact thing, so I'm putting my money where my mouth is, I'm doing this exact same thing, then definitely make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications so that you can be made aware of when I go live, or just show up every day at 11 a.m. Eastern. Next one here, NVDA. Talked about this in yesterday's video, had this nice wedge formation. And as of right now, yes, the price has pushed up through the wedge. I'm going to get rid of that level. So we go back to that question that we already talked about, which is always the exciting question. Because yes, the price has broken above here. Yes, the price has been able to maintain above it. So now it just becomes a question of, is this just the calm before the storm of another move back upwards? Like I've said a million times, and I'll probably say another million times, no guarantees, but this is certainly a valid question to throw out there now, given the price action that has occurred. It's gotten the trend line break. Now, in other words, this has not happened. This would be kind of a buzzkill where it breaks and then does something like that. That's not been the case. So sure, the best case is it breaks and then just goes, but the mere fact that it's at least going sideways shows that the gains are maintaining themselves, and now it's just a question of, will you get another surge in the upwards direction? So NVIDIA has got the trend line break. It's maintained the break. Now it's just a question of, is there another round of upwards pressure come on either Thursday or Friday? So we'll see what happens. Next one here, GAME, and we have ourselves a nice pattern here. So let's get this pattern drawn into play. There we have, there we go, the resistance, top part of the pattern. Down here we have the support. Let me change that to green. And then just because I can't help myself, let's keep it all one color. So we have our area of resistance right here. We have our area of support right here. We have the big upward move right there. For you golfers, let me put the golf hole down here. This would be a bull pennant pattern. Now, just because something's a bullish pattern does not mean for sure guaranteed the price is going to go upwards. But would it be shocking? Would it be crazy if the price did something like this and then broke and got the upwards move? That would not be shocking at all. Again, no guarantees, but is that a valid question to throw out there as a possible scenario? Absolutely. So if you like bull pennants, you like stocks down below $5, here you go. Next one here, NUWE, and this has been a very, very crazy mover, and it's a relatively ugly looking chart, but that's all about perspective. Anybody that was buying here, buying there, and as a day trader, then yeah, this thing is rough because it had a big move up, big move down. But what makes this now interesting going forward is it didn't do something like this where it just kept going. It did actually finally level out. Now let me be very clear, and I wish I could say trading was this easy. Again, green for support. Just because the price started to go sideways here at this $14.60 mark does not mean that for sure guaranteed this is the bottom and for sure guaranteed the price is going to curl back upwards. Again, it just goes back to that whole idea of plausibility. Is it reasonable? Is it plausible that maybe, just maybe, this is signaling the selling pressure is done and that the buyers might want to try to push this back up again? Yeah, that is a plausible scenario, but that's why risk management matters, because there's no guarantee. So moving forward, keep a close eye on 1460 as that area of support. And then in regards to levels of resistance, I think an interesting level here to keep an eye on is that area right there. And if the price can come up, push up through that level right there, do you get some sort of upside buying pressure? I'm not saying it necessarily goes back up there and retest those highs, but this one has proved that I can move and move very quickly. So yeah, if you like these sorts of scenarios where you get the big move, you get a pretty nasty pullback, but then all of a sudden the price starts to consolidate out, go sideways, then certainly keep an eye on it. Next one here, BTBT, and we once more have that exciting question because yes, going into the day or going into the afternoon, there was this resistance trend line right here, but that's why I like to do these when the market's open. But as I speak right now, you can see the price has broken above that level. So yes, once again, this is something that is very worthwhile and valid question of, all right, is this the start of something even bigger? So that's the near term context. So the next big question to keep an eye on from a resistance standpoint is, can the price push up through this level right here at $4.04? And then after $4.04, next key area of resistance right up there at $4.30. So you can see this area right here was a bit of a resistance, but if the price can push up through there, then the next key battleground right up there at $4.30. But as of right now, the price is doing battle. It's trying to push up through here. So yes, it makes more than enough sense to question, all right, it's got the breakout. Is it the start of a bigger move up? Grab your popcorn. Next one here, TSLA Tesla, and finally, the price was able to get some separation. This means a little bit more to those of you that have watched the past top 10s, but yes. And the other ones we've been talking about and tracking that red line for quite a while at 318.40. And the price, like I said, has gotten above it, where the first update comes into play. And this update is just based on foundational rules in charting, which states when levels of resistance are broken and closed above, they tend to act as support. And that is exactly what played out here. You can see price broke above it, then went to acting as support there, before finally getting a nice little upwards move right there. So moving forward now again, is 318.40 a do or die must hold level? It's not. It is okay if the price falls back below there. However, would it make the chart look the healthiest? Would it make the bulls look the strongest if the price can stay above there? Absolutely. But as I've talked about with the other stocks, keep an eye on that purple line right there, which as you now know, well, hopefully you remember, is that 50-period moving average. So as that line moves higher and higher, as long as the price stays above there, the overall trend is perfectly fine. So as far as areas of resistance are concerned, the next key battleground to watch moving forward now very closely, right up there around $325.50, which is just coming from this clump of resistances back around here from several weeks ago. But all in all, very nice day here for Tesla. So that wraps up the top 10 list. And again, if you are frustrated by the pattern day trading rule, if you want to become a day trader, and again, a day trader being defined as having unlimited day trades every single day, then the link here that you see on the screen, and I'll put it in the description box, is a way for you to get involved. And like I said, you could get involved for $102. I know that might sound too good to be true, but it's not. Like I was saying earlier, it's what I'm doing, and I've made money from it. And if you want to see it live in action, then like I said, check out my live stream that I do go live every day at 11 a.m. And I usually go for a few hours. So if you can't make it at 11 a.m., that is totally fine. But yes, believe it or not, if you want to be a day trader, you do not need $25,000. You can have unlimited day trades, get to trade something that moves and moves very quickly. So like I said, check out that link and you can learn more. And then make sure to use code CLAY at checkout so that you are able to take advantage of the promotion. So thanks for watching. As always, if you enjoy these videos, make sure you hit that like button. Take care and let me know if you have any questions in the comment section.